Good morning to all. I am Arun Kumar Sandhu with Anusha Francis, Naveen Thirumayan, and Jomon George. We are delighted to welcome you all to our group presentation for the International Leadership Module. We are looking to two global leaders for the two different worlds. Santanu Narayanan, CEO of Adobe, and Dinesh Kumar Karka, Chairman of SBA. We picked them because they are both shaped their organizations in big different ways. One works in Silicon Valley Tech, the other in Indian's biggest public bank. Public was private and West was East. Fast innovation was structural systems. We are explore what kind of leaders they are, how they make their decision, and what we can learn from them. Let's start with the leadership really means and what it matters. Before we get into the leaders, let's quickly define leadership. Robinson Judge in 2022 described it as the ability to influence others towards a common goal. It's not just for a holding power, it's about the vision, communication, and the guiding others, especially when the times are uncertain. In today, the global world, leaders have to adapt across their cultures, industries, and every crisis. So, in this presentation, we will look forward to real examples and how proven theories explain their leadership decisions. To analyze our two leaders, we have chosen the four leadership theories from our modules. First, transformational leadership, where the leaders inspire the change and vision. Then, the triad theory, which looks the personal traits that make the leader effective. And path goal theory, explain how the leaders help the team to reach their goals by removing obstacles and giving direction. Each of these theories will apply to the specific leader. We will show how they work in a real life. Let me introduce our first leader, Shantanu Narayan, CEO of Adobe since 2007. He has been driving the driving force behind the Adobe transformation, from selling boxed software to becoming a global cloud-based platform. Under his leadership, Adobe launched a subscription service, entered the digital marketing, and enhanced AI, all staying true to the creative and design. He also known for promoting equality. Adobe achieved the complete pay priority and supports a very inclusive culture. In 2020, he was named the one of the top 10 CEOs by Forbes. Now we look at a kind of leader he really is and starting from the transformational leadership. Move to Anusha.
Shantanu Narayan strongly reflects transformational leadership as defined by Burns 1978 and expanded by Bass 1985. First, he had a clear version. He transformed Adobe from a boxed software company to a cloud based creative platform. Second, he inspired innovation. When generative AI disrupted design, he launched Adobe Firefly, showing intellectual stimulation by turning disruption into opportunity. Third, he models ethical leadership, achieving complete, complete gender pay priority and creating an inclusive workplace. This is idealized influence. And finally, he motivates teams by empowering them, promoting creativity, autonomy, and purpose. That's inspirational motivation in action. These four elements of transformational leadership are seen throughout his decisions and leadership style. Because of this, Adobe's revenue reached record heights and the company was named on of the most admired global brands. So, apart from transformational leadership, Narayan also fits into trade theory. Kirkpatrick, Kirkpatrick and Locke's model from 1991. They highlighted traits like drive, confidence, cognitive ability, integrity, and business knowledge. And honestly, Narayan ticks all the boxes. He had the drive to shift Adobe to the cloud way before it was the norm. He's got both a computer science degree and an MBA from Berkeley, so his tech and business knowledge run deep. Confidence. You need that to push bold movies like Adobe Firefly, especially during uncertain times like the AI disruption. And integrity really stands out. His achieved full gender pay priority and Adobe. So it's not just what he does strategically, it's who he is as a person. These traits explain why he is respected and trusted all over the world. So, how well do these two theories explain Narayan's leadership? Transformational leadership shows how he inspires people through version, culture change, and bold innovation. We saw that in the shift to cloud in Firefly and in his motivational communication. Trade theory explains why people follow him, his confidence, deep tech and business knowledge, and strong personal ethics. They work well together. One shows what he does, and the other shows who he is. But trade theory has limit. Having the traits alone doesn't make you a great leader. You still need the right context, the right actions, and he right value. In Narayanan's case, we saw how his traits supported his transformational strategy, and that's why both theories are useful together. Move to Navi.
Amisha. Thank you, Amisha. Our second leader is Dinesh Kumar Kara, who served as a chairman of the State Bank of India from 2020 to 2024. He led India's largest public bank through a very difficult time right at the start of COVID-19 crisis and delivery one of the strongest financial turnarounds in the bank history. Under Kara's leadership, SBI earned over 1.63 lakh crore in the profit in just 4 years, which was more than the total from the previous 64 years combined uh, business today, 2024. He also lead SPI digital expansion through its platform, which now handles 90% of transaction and I guess over 80 million users. Kara is known as for being a steady strategic leader, calm under pressure, but also ready to adapt. Now we will analyze his leadership style using two theories, starting with transformational leadership. Kara's leadership during his tenure at SBI strongly reflected transformational leadership originally defined by Burns 1978 and expanded by the boss 1985. First, he set bold vision. He aimed to push SBI annual profit to 1 trillion post-COVID, a target no Indian bank had ever hit. Business today in 2024. Second, he inspired a cultural shift. SP per employee profit rose by nearly 6 times, showing how he boosted individual motivation across a huge workforce. business today in 2024. That he lead digital transformation. Over 90% of SBI transaction now happen digitally through a app which Kara combined from the start. ET now in 2023. This action clearly reflects the four pillars of base models, especially inspirational motivation and intellectual simulation, as Kara challenged a traditional system to become a agile and future ready. As the Mac of Institute 2022 put it, he combined a long-term vision with a steady, trusted leadership style that ideologically influence in the action. Let's now apply path goal theory introduced by the House in 1971. This theory says that leaders adapt their style to help employees succeed by clearing obstacles and agiling motivation with goals. Kara used a directive style when launching SPI Digital Push, guiding thousands of employees through onboarding. ET now 2023. He also applied a supportive style during branch restricted, offering a emotional reassurance and retaining in Mac Institute 2022. His approach was achievement oriented to SPI introduced performance linked bonuses to drive efficiency. SPA in 2023. So we can say that the Kara's leadership matches path called theory well, especially during complex transition. He did not stick on one method. He adapted depending on the situation, and that flexibility happened at SPA hit a record profit business today in 2024. So how well do this two leadership theories explain Kara's approaches at SPA? Transformational leadership work very well. Kara showed clear vision, inspired people, and drove major innovation. Base model fit perfectly in that sense. Base in 1985, path goal theory is also good match, especially since Karas kept adapting based on situation from the branch restrictions to digital onboarding. Houses 1971. However, both theories miss one public sector retails. For example, transformational leadership does not fully capture the rigid structure of the government banks. North House in 2018. Also, they don't focus much on the ethics or legacy, which are big in public leadership, and that something traded theory touches more cryptic unlock in 1991. So, while the methods help us understand Kara styles, we also need to think about the context, public service governance and policy accountability. Thompson at 2022. Move to German.
Thank you, Naveen. So here we have got two leaders, Narayan from Adobe and Kara from SBA, and their style are totally shaped by the worlds they work in. Narayan's in tech. It's all about speed, creativity, adapting fast. He's the kind of leader who trusts his people, let them take ownership. His calm, visionary approach really fits the environment he is in. Kara's leading one of India's biggest public banks. So, naturally, his leadership leans more on structure, guiding teams, making sure people to stay motivated while driving change in complex system. What is interesting is how they both succeed, but in completely different ways. One through innovation and freedom, the other through support and direction. That is what leadership is about, not copying a style, but knowing what your people need and how to get the best out of them. As Northhouse puts it, good leadership adapts to the situation. And both these leaders really show that. And so this slide is about how leadership theories don't actually work in isolation. And real leaders don't just pick one and stick with it. Take Narayan, he clearly shows strong traits like confidence and vision, which aligns with the trait theory. but he also adapts his approach depending on who he is working with, which links to contingency theory. And on top of that, he inspires his teams with the purpose. That's transformational leadership. Thera's leadership at SBI is similar. He's driving change on national level. So yes, transformational theory fits. But the way he actively supports and directs his employees, that's path goal theory in action. The main point here is that these theories don't cancel each other's out. They actually complement each other's. Leaders switch between them depending on the situation, the people involved, and what needs to be achieved. As Northhouse 2018 says, theory helps us understand leadership, but in reality, it's dynamic. And both these leaders show us that good leadership is about flexibility, not following on fixed model. And where we reflect on what these two leaders really teach us about leadership in global world. First, flexibility. Narayan leads a fast moving tech industry. Karen is a structural public bank, but both succeed by adapting, not sticking to one leadership style. Second, emotional intelligence. Both leaders show strong people skills, whether it's building trust, supporting teams, or communicating vision. They lead with awareness and empathy. Also, their vision was not just a fancy statement, they made it real and got others to believe in it. And finally, they don't ignore culture. Narayan leads globally across time zone and languages. Kara manages a national institution that affects millions. They both show that leadership has to match the cultural and strategic setting. Goldman in 1998 says emotional intelligence is a top trait in successful leaders, and both of them prove that. And the industry, the culture, the people you are leading. Narayan and Kara both succeed, but in different ways. One leads with the innovation in tech, the other drives reform in a public bank. What they have in common is adaptability, purpose, and emotional intelligence. They know how to read the moment, guide their teams, and turn vision into action. And from the theory side, we have applied everything from freight and transformational to path goal and contingency, not as separate ideas, but as pieces that comes together depending on the challenge. In the end, strong leadership is about knowing your people, your environment, and how to create trust while delivering results. And finally, these are the references we were referred. Thank you. Thank you for watching our video.